Hello, this is Duke from Duke It Out, and welcome to another episode of Weekly 5. And yes, the news of Vince McMahon announcing his retirement is obviously the biggest news from this week, but that topic was worthy of its own video, so my video of that will be up in either one of these corners. But besides that, there were some pretty interesting rumors or stories, so let's get started. Number 1. WWE doesn't like SummerSlam. The company does love the SummerSlam event in general. It's made them fucking millions. But word was going around from accounts like WrestleVotes that there were sources saying that WWE really doesn't like the SummerSlam card this year. Well, they booked it, so they can only blame themselves. And it makes sense as to why they don't like this card. While some can be promising in match quality, none of the matches have had proper build-up besides the Usos and the Street Profits. I'm not counting the WrestleMania rematches because it's just relied on past booking. They really can't do much to change it at this point, but let's hope that the show surprises both us and them. Number 2. Kevin Dunn leaving WWE. Kevin Dunn has been a producer for all WWE televised programs since 1988, and 20 years later joined the company's board of directors. Opinions on Kevin Dunn have expanded from talent to fans, and let's see how that usually goes. Sounds about right. But Dunn has been viewed as one of Vince's top right-hand men over the years. But with Vince retiring, it seems that it could lead to some of his most allied members behind the scenes walking out the door with him. But in this case, there have only been mentions of Kevin Dunn. But still nothing confirmed. I can't lie, I've never been a fan of Dunn, so seeing a change in WWE's production would really make any change in WWE feel more like it. And hey, that could be an easy ticket for them to try and get Jon Moxley / Dean Ambrose back in WWE. If you've read Mox's book, you know what I'm talking about. Number 3. Brock Lesnar walking out, work, or shoot. Pretty quickly after the announcement of Vince's retirement, there were rumors going around in almost all dirt sheets that Brock Lesnar had walked out of the SmackDown taping after hearing the news. It was sort of believable because Brock has a close relationship with Vince, despite him throwing the Universal title at Vince after WrestleMania 34. So it could make Brock wonder if that changes anything to his contract or how some things will go down. SmackDown still went on, but all the rumors were put to bed, when at the end of the show, Brock walked out to dismantle Theory after his match with Madcap Moss. Now, of course, it's possible that Brock did leave and they just convinced him to come back. But I think it's one of the rare times where WWE really tricked us and confused the internet. Regardless, it's a pretty funny visual, and I'm glad that they won't have to book Roman versus Goldberg last minute. Number 4. Bayley returning at SummerSlam. While some women of WWE like Bianca, Becky, Liv, and Ronda have been killing it, it can make people forget about one of WWE's best, regardless of division, Bayley. Her heel run over the last couple of years was amazing, bringing out great matches and extremely entertaining promos, plenty with Sasha. We haven't seen Bayley in nearly a year after she tore her ACL ahead of her I Quit match with Bianca Belair. She has been teasing a little bit on Twitter that she'll be returning to the ring soon, but it's been in reports that Bayley could be scheduled to return at SummerSlam this weekend. I would guess it'd be involved with the Bianca and Becky match as opposed to Liv and Ronda. But regardless, I would be so excited to see Bayley back in WWE. It also would leave the question that if she's going to remain a heel when she's back, or if she'll go back to her hugging ways and bring back the inflatable arm flailing two men after the success of Jordan Peele's Nope. Number 5. Kenny Omega set to return. I've talked about Kenny Omega's injury before on Weekly 5, which includes a hernia, damage to the knees, shoulders, and even vertigo. Fans have been anticipating Omega to step back into the ring ever since he left. I was convinced he was going to pop up at Forbidden Door, but it was rightfully too soon. But from reports, and particularly from Fightful, the apparent plans in AEW are to have Kenny make his return either before or at the upcoming All Out pay-per-view. And it seems he'll be starting the long-awaited Trios feud with the Undisputed Elite, or even a storyline with Hung Bucks. I would be very excited to see this, plus having a storyline with Trios teams can help Omega get settled back in and not risk himself from being in the ring for the entire match. And it's crazy to think that the Kenny Omega we'll be seeing once he's back will be the first Omega in AEW to work in the ring without these multiple injuries. And he's still brought out multiple classics. So I cannot wait for the Best Bout machine to terminate his way back into the squared circle. Summer of Wrestling last year was wonderful, but the ending of this year's could be even better. So that was another episode of Weekly 5. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, and duke out your opinions below in the comments.
in a cabinet they call a dorm. Sockeye on the beat, never missing my form, but I'm my worst critic. Look at the pages torn.